Hey friends, welcome to episode 5 of Gemma Darling Daily. I'm Danielle. I am Gemma Darling on Ravelry and Gemma Darlings on Instagram if you'd like to follow along on the interwebs. I don't think it's going to be a very long podcast today. I know I haven't seen you guys in, like 3 or 4 weeks. I'm so sorry. Life happened. I was working on my best friend's wedding invitations and it was a lot of work. I make really, really elaborate wedding invitations, and luckily one of her friends in LA did a lot of the work, but still I had to assemble them all, and it just took so long. And I've been wanting to podcast because I just love interacting with you guys, and I know you've been waiting to see who won the giveaways, and I just want to apologize. I'm so very sorry. I think I'm going to be able to podcast more often, get you some more vlogs. I have so much stuff that's just waiting to be edited. So, I kind of talked my husband into giving me the huge iMac he's got in the basement, and I think we're gonna get some more content on this channel in the coming weeks. So please stay tuned for all of that. I hope you guys all are well. I hope you're knitting away, thinking about your Rhinebeck sweaters. We gotta start those soon. If you haven't started or picked it or gotten your yarn, let's get on that. I'll talk about that later in the episode. But for now, I think we should start out by pulling these prize winners because you guys have been waiting long enough. So before I started recording, I used random number generator, and our first prize that we're going to talk about is the Edinburgh prize from EYF, stuff I brought back from Scotland. And it is one skein of Olan yarn. Look at that, seriously. I'm so happy stores are really starting to start carrying her, and I know a lot of people, well, a couple yarn store owners that I know personally have been talking about getting her stuff in, and so I'm super excited to just have it here in the States. So this is one of the sock yarns that she has, and it is slow motion colorway, and I love it. And I got two, so there's one for me and one for you. And then there's the little pouch from the little gray girl. See? And the EYF Festival pin. So that with the little bag here, I think that's a pretty good prize, right? Okay, I'm dropping everything all over here. I'm going to put it back in so nothing gets dirty. And the winner of this prize was Jessica from San Francisco. She was number 64 in the thread, and her screen name is, let me try it right, Trooport? I don't know. TroopOORT. You won! Round of applause. Golf clap. So if you'll just direct message me on Ravelry, throw me your address, and I will get this in the mail to you. Congratulations! Guys, it's that easy. Let's see. And that was a really great thread to read. I just want you guys to know I can't interact with all of you on these threads because then I get a number and I don't want the numbers to come up in the generator when I'm trying to call a winner. So I don't really interact in these threads, and I'm very sorry, but I read everything. And I loved reading all of them. And, you know, I hope you guys all get to go to EYF also. I was talking about it with a friend the other day, and I really think it was a festival. You know, there are trade shows, like I'd say VKL is more of a trade show than a festival, but this was a festival. You know, the fringe events, they really made the festival. I mean, you'd go in the morning, you'd get your tea, and you'd get all of your, they had that cake display, and I think I bought one of everything every day. And I loved it, you know. What was it called? Millionaire Shortbread? It was so good. Oh my God, seriously, it was so good. So yeah, I was just walking around seeing all the yarns and stuff. And I mean, if you go to a lot of these festivals, you're going to see a lot of the same brands, but it's still wonderful to interact with the dyer, see new brands that you haven't seen before. I mean, it's just so much fun. So I just think EYF just blew a lot of the other events, you know, out of the water. It was so, so good. I mean, I really love going to Vogue, but it's very overwhelming. There are a lot of people there. I really enjoy Rhinebeck. That I feel like is a festival also, but there aren't any night events that I know of, and I kind of wish it fostered more of a sense of community. So, but dude, not putting down Rhinebeck. Rhinebeck is awesome, and I cannot wait. Anyway, enough of my babbling. Let's call the other prize winner. Okay, and this is for the Chelsea Yarns prize pack that Christina was so nice enough to gift us while we were there. A bunch, an enamel pin, a needle gauge, and one of her colorways from the New Jersey Wool Walk called Walk Baby Walk. And I mean, this stuff is good. I love this color. Thanks, Christina. You've also got 2 buttons, one for the Chelsea Pearls podcast. And guys, if you aren't watching this podcast, it makes me laugh so hard. And yes, I know it's not hard to make me laugh, but I don't laugh all the time. It's really good. It's very homey. It's like 2 friends just talking about yarn, loving yarn, and it's great. So, and then also that brand of her hand-dyed yarn is Chelsea Luxe. And you get a button for that too. So, let's see, who won that? That one was won by number 25, and that is Adriana from Connecticut. You won. And your screen name is Poolside, which is where we'd all like to be right now. So, that's actually a really good screen name. Everyone tries to like play off the words knit and purl, but Poolside, it's just where you want to be. Anyway, you guys, congratulations on winning those prizes. I am going to have more giveaways in the future. I always am collecting stuff for giveaways because I think it makes watching podcasts fun. Just DM me with your address and I will get those out to you. Thanks. Okay, let's go into my show notes in my cute little Rebecca Minkoff notebook here, which was a free gift. Okay. So let's talk about a couple things. First of all, last podcast I talked about my friend Amelia, who I met at Rhinebeck, but I had really met on Instagram. We actually met and hugged at Rhinebeck. And so we've just become friends over the internet, and I think a lot of us have met that way. Guys, thank you for Instagram, right? Instagram's great. But she knit me a pair of socks, and I didn't get to show them because they were in the wash last time. But look at these socks. They're so beautiful. Look at that. And I believe this is a Homespun House colorway. I do not know the colorway. I'm very sorry about that. I'm sure that Molly can help you out with that if you need to know. But Amelia, they fit perfectly. They're cozy and I love them. And I don't know how you did it because they're just gorgeous. I mean, at the top, she did the ribs and look at that. Now, I don't knit socks, as you guys know, so I do not know what pattern this is, and I'm sure Amelia can help us out with that. If anyone wants to know, you know, just message me and I'll find out from her. But Amelia, thank you so much. I mean, this is just such a gesture of love, and I really, I appreciate it. I do. You're in my heart. Thank you. Next, I've been working on my Millie sweater night and day. I've kind of been a monogamous knitter. Obviously I can't say that word. So I finished the body, which is really great. And as you guys know, I'm knitting this in Nice and Knit. It's called Scrubby Pines. I think it's a beautiful colorway. I'm holding it upside down. Anyway, I'm on Sleeve Island, guys, and you know we get stuck there sometimes. I mean, I haven't been on it for very long. But I made a mistake already not following the pattern, and I don't know if I'm going to frog back or if I'm just going to go with it. Because we all know I made that mistake of casting on with a size 5, and instead of changing to a size 7 when I knit the body, I knit the whole thing out of a size 5. So what's good about knitting these raglans is that it really doesn't matter. Like, you just keep knitting until the body is the size you want. So I just went straight into the large size to make sure it would be roomy enough. And I've tried it on. It is. And I've gained a little bit of a belly since Edinburgh, and it covers it. So that's good. That's why I wear these big hippie dresses. I bought flexi flips to do the sleeves because I really don't like magic loop. I just don't like it. I'll do it if I have to. And we also talked about how my mother told me to put one in one side and one in the other of a circular needle. So you'd have 2 circular needles, you know, one you work on one side with and one on the other. I have to do a tutorial for that. I'm sure it's on the internet. I'm going to try and find one for you guys because it's a great way to knit in the round. But I find the flexi flips, same thing. It's just you don't have to deal with all the cords. And I really love that. So it's like magic loop minus the loop. So you're just left with the magic. and I'm really enjoying it. I am. I wish they were a little bit longer. I always feel like I'm going to drop my stitches off of them, but you kind of can like hold them in your hand as you're doing the other thing because they bend. As you're doing the other side, they just bend. It's great. And I did this in like one day. So, you know, talk about Sleeve Island for me. And I'm a very slow knitter. So talk about Sleeve Island. I think I can get it off it pretty quickly if I just keep going. So I'm going to try to do that. Really like to finish this soon. Maybe I'll be wearing it next episode if it wasn't 900 degrees in my craft attic right now and I have lights on me. So I'm going to keep doing that. I really think that the ribbing on this, it was supposed to be 4.75 inches, but I stopped at like 4. It's a lot of ribbing. I looked at the picture in the pattern, it didn't look this wide. So I made an executive decision. I stopped it when I felt like it. But I just think it knit up really, really pretty. So I'm really loving this yarn. I'm loving this. And as I said in the last episode, this is not something that they dye during the summer, but I think Nice and Knit are going to be bringing back this color for the fall. So if you are interested, stay tuned. And I do highly recommend the pattern. It's a simple pattern. It's intuitive, easy to knit, and the final product is actually really a nice wearable sweater. So guys, go over to Nice and Knit on Ravelry and get yourself a Millie pattern. I also cast on something else that I've been wanting to cast on for a while, and I didn't want to let myself cast something on because I've been trying to finish up some whips that I have. I had to. I'm just too excited about this yarn, and I've showed you the yarn, keeping it in my EDINBAG, which, by the way, guys, I put the strap across it like a hobo, and I carry this around my house with everything in it that I want to use. So, since I have to carry my baby and my dog down the stairs in the morning, this goes on me like a purse. And I have my iPad mini in it, I have my glasses in it, I have my planner, I have my phone, I have literally everything in it, and it's so big inside still. I mean, I've got extra needles, I've got, I don't know what else is in there. Oh, Sharpies randomly. That's probably not a good idea. Anyway, I've got so much stuff in here, and I've been lugging it around. I just wanted to cast on my Tecumseh sweater. So I finally gave in and printed the pattern on this beautiful paper that I had. But this is Tecumseh by Boylan Knitworks. I think we all know the pattern. And I, so far, am really, really loving the way that this yarn is knitting up. And I talked about it last episode, so I'm not going to go into it in depth, but this is Machete Shop yarn, dyed by Brittany PETKO, and I consider her a friend, and I absolutely love her yarn, so I'm really excited to use it in anything. I'm always excited to cake up her yarn and start using it, because this is the year of use the yarn, right guys? We have stashes and we are going to use the yarn this year. Don't look at your skeins and think, I don't want to use that. The skein is too pretty. Use the yarn. That's my advice. So this is going to be the pluses, okay? And this is, blah, 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 don't remember the name, Toasted Pecan, I think. That doesn't sound right. It's got pecan in it. Yeah, I know. I don't know. Anyway, this one might be replaced with something else, so who cares what it is. No, it's my favorite colorway, though, from Madeline Tosh. Madeline Tosh, guys. Great stuff. It just is. It's my go-to. And this is Machete Shop in the colorway Sassenach, and look how that knit up. Knit up. Look how it caked. It's gorgeous. So I'm really excited to use these two. These are going to be the pluses and these are going to be the shields. And I did also put in an order because Machete Shop had this great pre-order update the other day, and I had to restrain myself. Her colorways are epic, guys. They're so good. And so I ordered another skein of the body colorway, which is Tula. Let me show you. I have one skein still, I think. God, my Edinburgh is so deep. It's like Mary Poppins carpet bag. You like can't get to the bottom of it. Anyway, this is the main body color, and this is Tula. T-U-L-A. I love this colorway, and it's knitting up beautiful. And so these three are going to be my Tecumseh. So So I cast on with this, and I'm so excited, again, at how it's knitting up. I love it. It seems to have these two colors in it, so I think this is going to turn out really nice. I'm so excited. And so here is what I have so far. Guys, this is an embarrassingly little amount. In my defense, I cast on last night. So let's see, we're all tangled. Stop being so tangled. Okay. Look at that. That's all I have. That's all I have. But I did do the ribbing and I did the 2 rows of knit, and now I have to start with the short row section. Everyone hates short rows, but they really do make your garment lay better. So the neck is going to be higher than the front, and that's why we're going to do, she had a little bit of a short row section. And I'm not going to skip it. I guess you can. I heard someone say that you can skip it if you want to, but I mean, I think I'm done modifying other people's patterns. I obviously don't know how to write patterns, and so I am just going to do what they tell me to do. I cast on with the same needle size. I remembered to switch the needle to the bigger needle, so that's a good thing, and I'm excited about it. So, but the only problem that I'm having so far is that this toasted pecan, yeah, I can't remember it. Anyway, it's something pecan. I can see that the strand is thicker of this DK than it is in this. And I believe this is, let's see. This one is 245 yards and this one was 225. So even though it's only 20 yards difference, could it make a big enough difference to look weird in the sweater? I don't know. I was watching Christy Glass the other day and she was talking about how DKs are very different sometimes. Like there are light DKs and heavy DKs, and she's right. I do encounter a lot of different yardage counts for DK. I always thought the standard was 230 per 100 grams, but I see a lot of different brands that have different counts. So the Mad Tosh, I don't know, it just seems thicker. So I hold the strands next to each other and it looks a lot more plump, and I don't know if it's just because one might be more of a ply. I just don't know, but it does, like the cake even looks bigger. I mean, you can't see it probably, but I can. So I don't know. Machete Shop has this color called Tesla, which is kind of like this with some more speckling in it. And so I ordered one of those, and if the color matches pretty well, which I think it will, I'm going to substitute that and do the whole sweater in just Machete Shop yarn. So I was talking to Brittany today, and she was talking about, you know, she's starting at Tecumseh also, and I don't know, she was playing around with the idea of putting up some kits for an update. So if she does that, you guys, you know, stay tuned. I don't know if she's going to do it, but if she does, you guys need to hop on that because this yarn is knitting up like a dream. And this is a 75-25. So there's actually a lot of nylon in this. And usually I try to go for like a full merino, but I love it. It's super, super soft. And so, yeah, it's a 4-ply DK and it's 75-25 and I am loving it. So highly recommend. I'll keep you updated on my Tecumseh progress as the weeks go by. I am going to try to go back to my Millie because I just want to finish it. You know, I have to stop. I have all these sweaters that are like half finished. It's ridiculous. But I think Tecumseh is going to be my Rhinebeck sweater. I don't know if I'm going to wear it to India Untangled, you know, around on Friday to like Needles Up, India Untangled, or if I'm going to wear it on Saturday. It just depends on the weather. Last year, I could have worn a bikini to Rhinebeck. We all should have been crocheting bikinis last year. And it was kind of ridiculous. As much as it was like really nice, you kind of want that nip in the air, right? To wear your scarves and your sweaters. I mean, some people, they really just, they bit the bullet and they did it. They wore their sweaters all day. And to those people, I give you credit. Like, we work on these for a really long time, guys, right? We want to wear them. Anyway, that's my rant. So again, here is the beginning of Tecumseh, and I think once I'm done with my Millie, I'm going to knit on this pretty monogamously. This and my Winter Honey. I am going to start Andrea Mauer's Winter Honey shawl because that is something else that I want to wear to Rhinebeck. And I think that this color is going to look really pretty with my Tecumseh sweater, so I'm trying to plan ensembles. But this, again, this is Beehive Yarns in the Gilded colorway, and I cannot wait to knit with this. This is a 50% merino, 50% silk. And this is a DK and it's 232 yards. See, they're all different yardage amounts. But this, I think, it feels thinner because of the silk, but I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna knit up. So I'm really excited. Again, thank you so much for sending me this, Beth. I love it. And that's living in my Darn Yarn MN Beehive bag. It's got bees on it. Guys, save the bees. Later. Okay, so I'm going to put this back in my EDINBAG, which I think I'm going to try to score another one on the 9th, which is Saturday, I think. Annette is having another EDINBAG update. Guys, set your alarms. Figure out what time it is over there. Get your EDINBAG, guys. She won't be sewing them forever. This bag is so big. Look how big it is. It's so good. I love it. And splurge for the long strap also, because the short strap is great, but the long strap, like a lot of my friends, they just wear it around them as a purse and they wear it around the city. It's great. You know, I like the little bags that have like the wristlets. It's great, but you still have to hold your wrist a certain way, right? With this, you just strap it around you and you're knitting away. So there you go. The EDINBAG by Pink Hazel Bags. Guys, have you ever tried to get yarn in a VOOLENVINE update? You literally have to like sign in to PayPal, make sure that it has that, like, you know, where it reads your thumbprint on your phone, so it'll go right into it. You got to be ready. I mean, she is in high demand, and rightfully so. Her yarns are gorgeous. I'm lucky enough to have a bin of them. And so every once in a while, she'll post a picture of a free swim or some colorway she hasn't dyed in a while, and I want it. And I guess, I mean, we're friends. I guess I could just ask her for it, but I always feel like, you know, like, she works hard. She doesn't need to do my bidding. So I always try to get it at the update first. And if I can't get it at the update, I guess if I really, really wanted something, I would ask her. But I don't want to bother her like that. So I did happen to get 2 skeins of this colorway that I am drooling over. And I think it was because she forgot to promote the update. Excuse me. Blowing up over here. So she forgot to promote the update, and so at 7:30 she wrote something about the update, and I was like, isn't this the wrong time? Like, isn't everything gone already? And she's like, no, I forgot. So I was able to hop on and get 2 skeins of this. Guys, look at this. Seriously. This is called Taro. I don't know if it's a permanent colorway or if it was a free swim. I mean, sometimes she writes free swim on it. But this is on her Nouveau base, which is a merino single, 400 yards to 100 grams. I think I might use this for my Piccadilly shawl, and maybe I'll get some of her VOOLENVINE number 9 for the lace part. But I just think it's gorgeous. I mean, look at that. Look at that. So I'm very, very lucky. Just like you guys, I'm never able to get 2 skeins of anything. I'm really never able to, so I kind of collect her yarn. But yeah, because she forgot about the update, I got 2 skeins of it, and I'm so excited about that. So yay, Kristen, happy accident. So again, I think that's going to be my Piccadilly shawl, which I have been talking about. I actually want to talk about that a lot next week because I'm probably not going to be casting that on till after Rhinebeck. But I had been saying that that pattern was by Bristol Ivy and that it wasn't on Ravelry. And one of my viewers, thank you so much, whoever you are, I'm sorry, I forget, it was a while ago, told me that it was not a Bristol Ivy pattern. And at the bottom of the pattern, it says the name of the designer, which I'll put here in the down bar. And I just want to apologize for the designer. I'm so sorry that I said it was by Bristol Ivy, but I'm thinking there was a typo on the back of it, because when I hold stuff up to show you, I read the back of it and you guys read the front. The front of it had the designer's name and the back of it had something that said by Bristol Ivy. So that's what I read. But it must have been something else that they published by Bristol, and they just didn't change that blurb at the bottom before reprinting this new pattern by someone else. I'm guessing. I don't know. So when I bought the pattern at EYF, I thought it was by Bristol, but it is not. So I still have yet to knit something by Bristol Ivy, and I'm sure I will because she's phenomenal, but this is just not going to be it. I am still going to knit the shawl because it's gorgeous. I mean, that lace panel, so amazing. So maybe we should do a knit along starting in, let's start November 1st. Maybe we'll talk about that so you guys can like get the pattern and we'll all knit along for the holidays. I don't knit for people for Christmas and Hanukkah. I'm just not fast enough. I would love to, but I'm just not fast enough. So if you guys are with me, if you're in my boat, if you're a selfish knitter, maybe we'll do a knit along at the end of the year. Okay, so stay tuned. Okay, so I went into Yarnia like a couple months ago, maybe a month ago. I don't know. Time is just getting away from me. And I wanted to knit Tecumseh, but I didn't know what yarn to use. So I was interviewing yarn, and Yarnia has so many different brands, and they have a tiny store. It's a tiny store, but it's curated so well that there's so much in there, and I highly recommend going there. It's in Montclair, New Jersey on Valley Road. And I picked up some Juniper Moon Farm Moonshine yarn in a couple colors. Let's see. I also have the this cream color, but it's already been wound. It's in my Yarn-It. So I got 3 colors, and I was thinking, you know, Caitlin Hunter has a hat that takes 3 colors, and maybe I'll make that because I haven't really done color work before. So I probably should have done a small project before jumping into the Tecumseh sweater, but then I thought, you only live once, and if I make a mistake, I make a mistake. Like, it's yarn. So I'm just going to jump in. But I really like this yarn. I was swatching with it, and it's got this beautiful halo to it, as if there's mohair in it, but there isn't. It's made out of baby alpaca, wool, and silk. It's a blend, and it's just, I don't know if you guys can see it. It's got this like really cool like hairiness to it. It's hairy yarn. But it's called Juniper Moonshine. And I recommend it. It's a worsted weight, I think. US 7 to 9. Yeah, I think that's worsted, right? It's 197 yards. Is that worsted? I think so. Right? Because worsted and DK are like sisters, right? I really liked this mini haul that I got at Yarnia. I think it's a great store if you need needles or, you know, tiny little notions. They have Licka sets of things. They have yarn bowls, you know, they just have so much. And what they have that I really like are the classes. My mom took a class there. And it's not just knitting 101, even though they have that, or brioche knitting, or, you know, it's not just that. They have, if you want to learn how to knit continental, you can learn that. You can take, I believe they have sock classes. I believe they have My First Shawl classes where you learn construction. If I were you, I would go to yarnia.com. I think that's their website. I could totally be wrong, but I think that's their website. I'll put it in the down bar here. And check it out. If you're anywhere here in the area, it's a great store to learn in. So there's my PSA. So who's been following Gemma Darling D-Stash? Raise your hand. Don't be shy. Guys, so amazing. I would put stuff up and it would be gone in 10 seconds. You guys are so amazing. I hope my yarn found beautiful homes. I hope it's going to be used and not just stashed. I think it was an overall wonderful experience. I didn't have problems with anyone. You guys, I mean, because, you know, sometimes you just have a disagreement with a consumer. You know, they thought one thing, you thought another. And, you know, no harm done, but no, not one person. Everyone wrote me and said that it came to them and they got their yarn and they love it. And I'm so happy to have found new homes for my yarn. I'm going to be probably putting a couple more skeins up next week. I'm just looking at my stuff right now. There's some stuff I didn't quite want to part with in the first drop, but I think I've come to terms with it. So I may be doing that, so stay tuned for that. And then in July, I'm turning the account over to my friend Sandra. And guys, she has 300 skeins of amazing yarn to de-stash because her stash is insane. Insane. So I'm going to be turning the account over to her and I'll explain everything. I think she's going to be doing it the exact same way I did. You know, dropping DK, then dropping sock yarn, then dropping sport. It's just just easier because then when you buy something, you don't have to think about what weight it is before you write sold. You know that the whole drop is for DK yarn. So I just think that takes out a lot of the confusion. But guys, she has such good yarn. Let me tell you, this girl has wonderful taste. She knits Find Your Fades, like, I would say at least one a month or something. She's knit so many of them. She's incredible. So she's a wonderful person. Again, she has wonderful yarn. And I will be doing Insta stories on that Gemma Darling D-Stash Instagram account to let you know when she's coming on, when she's going to take it over, and what's going on with that. So stay tuned for that. And then after that, my friend Nicole, she wants to do a D-Stash also. So if you're not following that account, Gemma Darling D-Stash, please follow along. I'm going to be just lending out that account to people I know who have clean environments where they store their yarn and have many of the same brands that I use. So you're going to find Hedgehog and Ushitita and I don't know what else, Walk Collection, maybe some Brooklyn Tweed, you know, good stuff. So if you don't have a local yarn store near you and you're looking for this stuff, you may be able to find it on Gemma Darling D-Stash. So just stay tuned, you know, be patient. I'll let you know who's taking it over and when. Okay. When I was in Edinburgh, I met someone there. I'm not going to say who, but she is wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. When Christy, Nicole, and I were flying from Edinburgh to Paris before we went, embarked on our cross ocean journey home, we talked to her a lot because she was on the same flight as us. She has a residence in Paris, so she was flying there. And we almost got stranded there, and she offered to let us stay in her apartment. And you know who you are. I just want to thank you. That was so incredibly generous. We felt safe. You know, I mean, like, we knew we were going to get home, but we still felt like we had a place to go if anything got snowed out or rained out and we couldn't get on a second flight. Because we'd already missed our original flight, and so we were trying to get another flight home. And she was just so generous to us. So she was in Paris a couple of weeks ago, and she wrote me and asked me if I wanted anything from La Bien Amie. La Bien Amy. I don't know why I say Amie. La Bien Amy, right? Her name is Amy. Anyway, I told her that I wanted some Aran weight so I could make Franny her Rhinebeck cardigan. My mom is going to make her sweater, and I'm going to make a cardigan. And I haven't picked a pattern yet, so if you guys have any child's Aran patterns, or even a worsted, because I can just go down a couple sizes, let me know. I had her get me 5 skeins of La Bien Amy Aran. This is the peanut butter and jelly colorway in Aran. Look at that. Guys, so good. And this is Indigo. Indigo Blurple. Yeah. So together, who likes purple? I showed Franny and she just like hugged it. She hugged it. And this certain someone got me a La Bien Amie tote bag because I guess you get them. Oh, it's over there. I couldn't find it. I wanted to bring it to onto the cast, but I was so excited because I didn't get to get one in EYF. They sold out right away. Like literally the first day they were out of bags. And I bought a lot of it. I mean, I bought my Fringe Field bag, which is fun, but I wanted the bag with the logo on it. I didn't get it, so she sent it to me. So you know who you are. Thank you so very much. My daughter is going to have a Rhinebeck cardigan from the City of Lights. And I am so excited about that. So again, thank you, thank you. I'm excited to see what I'm going to make. I have no idea. I think I'm biting off more than I can chew, trying to finish a shawl, a sweater for myself, and a sweater for Franny before Rhinebeck. But, you know, we're going to try. Okay? That's all I can do. That's all I can do. So, there's that. So, this Saturday, let's see, I'm filming this on a Wednesday night. This Saturday is National Knit in Public Day, and I hope that all of you guys are going to be able to grab your needles, get some time away from the family, or even bring the family, and find some of your knitting besties and just knit outside in the sunshine. It's a nice way to knit, right? I know it's a little hot to be knitting right now, but we gotta knit now if we want to wear the stuff in the fall. That's the way it goes. So I will be in Bryant Park. I have to contact, I don't know if you have to contact Knitty City, but I know that Pearl is organizing something in Bryant Park. It's from 2:30 to 4. And I'm really, really excited. The whole park is going to be taken over by knitters. So if you guys are in the tri-state area and you're looking for a place to go, please come to Bryant Park in New York City. This Saturday, I'm going to have my mom with me. So, yep, Mama Marty's going to be with me. And I have to figure out what I'm going to knit because I'm getting to the part on my Tecumseh where I'm going to need one of the skeins that is on order and hasn't come yet. And I don't know if I want to be on Slave Island in the middle of Bryant Park. So I don't know if I want to do cables. You know, you got to have a certain type of knitting, a certain type of project with you when you're surrounded by people you want to talk with. It's just, you really just need to be, I mean, I can't do any pattern knitting when I'm surrounded by people because I'll just have to frog it all when I get home. So we'll see. Who knows? Maybe I'll cast on a hat. Sounds good, right? So anyway, guys, if you can, come out to National Knit in Public Day or knit in public wherever you are. Okay, as I was saying, there's so many things I want to knit for Rhinebeck. Guys, Rhinebeck is like the 3rd week in October. It's June. June, July, August, September, October. Guys, it's coming. And if you're a slow knitter like me, you got to start now. And I don't know how many things you guys want to knit, but you got to start now. Okay, let's just go to the Brio Duo of the week. Brio Duo! So, someone was in Target the other day and I was buying a lot of these jam jars by Ball, you know, these, what are they called? Mason jars. Because I made these mason jars for my friend's shower with the Rifle Paper Company in the lids, and I filled them with candy. These are the wrappers because this is what I eat up here. Anyway, I have a lot of these Ball jars and I love them. And I thought, maybe I can make them into stitch marker sets. So I bought little ones, and I don't think this is really working, but it's where I've been storing my stitch markers. So I put a little Rifle Paper Company under there. And I don't know, guys, what do you think? Would you want one of these? Just let me know. Let's comment below if you think that a stitch marker set in a cute little mason jar is a good idea. Now, I don't know if it's the best idea to throw glass into your project bag. A lot of us have kids and things like that. It does take a lot to break a mason jar, but I don't know. Might not be the best idea. This might be just something cute to leave with all of your needles and things and, you know, go back to if you need it. But the one thing I'm worried about is how sharp this is, because these go into the ring and then it goes on here. So I have to figure that out. But, you know, the wheels are turning. I'm trying to think of something that I would like to use that maybe I could share with you guys. There was another size I may try because I don't think this would be good. I'd like to keep darning needles in it and maybe, you know, your cable needles. Little things that we always lose. I love all my pouches, but I lose the pouches also. So I just thought this would be a cute thing to put on your little, you know, table next to where you knit. Anyway, you guys are welcome to share your thoughts in the comments below. Speaking of mason jars, did you know that Target has a humongous mason jar that you can use as a cookie jar, but it's amazing? Look at it. Oh, look at how big it is. This is a humongous jar. Yeah. And my husband's like, are you getting that? I was like, oh yes. And it's taking everything inside me not to buy all the ones on the shelf. Anyway, it's really cool because the top just like pops off, right? It just goes, pops on and off. Obviously I can't do this without looking at it. So there you go. But inside of it is the Brio Duo of the week, guys. Let's pull it out. I just make up things as I'm going along. Though, did I make up Brio Duo? I think I did. If anyone knows of anyone that was using that term before me, could you let me know? Because I don't want to step on anyone's toes. So my mom is knitting a Sunset Highway mini for Franny for Rhinebeck. And we were originally going to use these 2 colors. And then we decided on something else, but these had already been caked. So I threw them in this big jar. And then I thought, Brio Duo, right? Okay, this one is Olan, and it's in their Granny Smith colorway. It's an amazing, amazing green. It's got purples and blues. It's incredible. And this is one of our fan favorites. This is Purple Rain by Hedgehog Fibers. And this knits up gorgeous. I love the way this knits up. But together, is that a Brio duo or what? Now, I love like an olive green or like a real, you know, an apple green with a purple. The only thing that ever makes me hesitant to use it in a project is that, does it kind of remind you of the Joker from Batman? A little bit. So I'm very hesitant to use it in a project because I don't want to look like the Joker. It's beautiful. I think I'm going to have to do something with it. I just think it's too good. It's too good, right? It's too good not to use. And that's the Brio duo of the week. Yes, I know I'm ridiculous. Yeah. I hope you're smiling at least. Okay, guys. That's all I have. That was pretty quick, right? What should we talk about now? Okay, what's going on in my life? Do you care? Thank you. Okay, well, one of my best friends is getting married. She's getting married in LA at the end of July, and so I'm going out there. I've been working on her wedding invitations, which should have gone out way earlier, but we hit a couple snags, and that's okay. The graphic artist, I do all the graphic artistry for invitations, but since I'm not out there in LA with her, it was kind of difficult, you know, choosing fonts and this and that, and so I didn't get to see her too much this winter. I'm so sad about that. But she, one of her friends out there that she's made was a graphic artist. So she did a lot of the invitation and then just sent me all the pieces cut and I put them together. And it seems like it's easy to put stuff together, but it takes a really long time to glue all that stuff super straight. So I was doing that pretty much from 12 midnight to 4 a.m. for the past 2 to 3 weeks. And I finally got them all in the mail and just, I breathed a sigh of relief and yeah, so I think that's it. Now I have to find a dress for myself because she says that she likes her friends so much that she's not making them bridesmaids. I don't really mind being a bridesmaid. I always thought it was fun, but yeah, I think I've been in 7 or 8 weddings. You know, it's a lot. It's a lot, but it's fun. I would have done it. I don't know. And we're all still going to get dressed with her and everything, so that's going to be fun, but I get to choose my own dress. So I'm kind of excited because I haven't bought a fancy dress, well, since that red one that I wore this Christmas to my cousin's wedding in January. Yeah. So that was fun. That's on my Instagram feed. I love that dress, but it's too wintry for this and I need something fancy. Fancy, 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 fancy. While I was up here doing the invitations, I watched a lot of Amazon Prime Video. I don't know if you guys have that with your Amazon Prime subscription. I think you have access to that. I don't know if it's a separate charge or not. My husband takes all that care of all that. He's an Amazon junkie. We have everything. So I watched a couple, I like B movies. You know, like I don't want to watch the blockbusters that are in the movie theater anymore. I hardly go to the movies anymore, which is really sad because I used to go 2 to 3 times a week when I lived in the city. I lived at Lowe's Kips Bay. My great uncle used to work in a movie theater and he would give me all these like passes and I never paid for a movie because he'd give me all these passes. So I would just go after dinner. You know, after work, I'd grab something to eat and I would just go to the movies. I loved it. And I don't know. I don't feel like a lot of the movies are super good anymore. And I also feel like it's just so expensive to go to the movies. And it's really sad. You know, I think they should just be a nice, crisp $10 bill and that's it. But I think they're rounding out at about $15 now. It's a lot. Especially because I'm not used to paying, right? Thanks, Uncle Joe. So I watched Two Night Stand. I think it was called Two Night Stand with Miles Teller. It was cute. It was about this girl and guy that were having some one night stand, which is, you know, inappropriate. But she got snowed in there. And so, of course, they fall in love. I mean, duh. But it was actually really entertaining. It was cute. I watched Breathe. Did you guys ever see that movie with Claire Foy? She plays the queen in The Crown. And Andrew Garfield. I love him. But it was about, oh, I can't remember the name of the guy. Ooh. His first name was Robin, and he was just this active guy. He was a tea purveyor, and they used to go to Africa. They went to all these places. I think it was back in the 40s or 50s. And then he just collapsed one day and they said, you have polio and you're going to be paralyzed for the rest of your life. And he really turned lemons into lemonade and figured out all of these ways that he didn't have to just lay in a bed, because back then they would put, I believe they were called the iron lung, and they would put polio patients in these contraptions to keep them breathing. And that really is no life. It is just no life. I'm so sorry that that ever happened, but he invented the wheelchair that had a respirator on it. And so you watch this movie and you see this guy going through something that is just super awful, and he really just used his mind for the betterment of people with his same ailment. And so it's a really great movie. It's, you know, you don't get the ending you want. You know, obviously he isn't healed, but it's still a very feel-good movie. It didn't make me cry. It just, you know, it makes you think. And I really, really liked that. I'm trying to think what else I watched. I watched a lot of movies. I watched Flashdance because it was on there and I just love Flashdance. And when I'm working on the wedding invitations, sometimes I just want something that I can play and listen to that I know in my head already. And I've seen Flashdance like 9,000 times. So I just like to listen to the music. So I push play and that's what I did. I'm trying to think of what else is going on in my life. Oh, I went to see Christy Glass give a talk about all of her Boylan Knitwork sweaters at the knitting place in Port Washington on Long Island. You guys all know Dinah, right? She has a podcast with her friend Joan, and I got to, well, I know Dinah from EYF, but I got to meet Joan and some other people that work there, and guys, 30 people came. 30 people! I mean, I know that Christy is a personality of our knitting society, but I had no idea that that many people would come. And Dinah was just laughing because, I mean, she literally had to rearrange the entire store to fit that many chairs in the store. And Christy gave a really, really great talk. I mean, she told us about how she picked the yarn for all the sweaters and what worked and what didn't. And, you know, what she liked about the patterns and what she didn't. And, you know, she loves Caitlin Hunter. She's kind of a junkie, so she loved everything about the pattern. But she told us, you know, things not to miss. You know, Caitlin really writes her patterns. Like, she writes a lot in the pattern to help you knit the garment. And so you really have to read the things that she writes in the patterns because they help you along the way. And I thought listening to Christy talk about how she got from point A to point Z on all of her sweaters was great. So if you guys are ever, if she's ever in your area and she's giving this talk, go. It's like, it really fostered a great discussion. There were lots of questions, and then we all got to see all of her sweaters at once. And Dinah was great. Dinah had all these mannequins for her, and so they were all on display, and then, you know, Christy pinned the name on everything. I have a vlog of that coming up, but I have to be honest, I didn't tape a lot of her presentation because I feel it's not my place to release it into the world. So I taped like a couple blurbs here and there. But most of the video is about me driving to Long Island and how long it took. Yes. My friend lives about a half an hour from the knitting place. So I said, oh, all right, I'll go early in the day because I had childcare already. And I will go see my friend Kathy and I'll spend like 3 or 4 hours with her. I'll go pick up her daughter from school with her. You know, maybe we'll like grab something to eat. And I meant to leave the house at 11. I left the house at 1. Right there. Yeah, awful. I didn't get to Kathy's until 4:30. Mind you, I wanted to leave Kathy's house at 4 to start my journey to the knitting place. So I didn't leave Kathy's house until 5:30. While I was on my way there, a migraine developed. So I went to Kathy's and fell asleep because I'm an awful guest. And so I slept for like, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. It did help. It definitely helped. She and I were college roommates. We lived together in the city for years. So, you know, it's like, we don't need to entertain each other. We're just very comfortable with each other. Like I always say, like, I gauge my friends by like, can you go in their fridge? Can you go to their house and just go in their fridge? And I can, and she can do it in my house. So we're like sisters, you know? So I went there and she's like, you don't look so good. Take a nap. I was like, okay. And I just fell asleep on my hand. Her daughter was trying to get me to watch the Shopkins movie. So I was kind of happy that I fell asleep, but I love her daughter. Her daughter Lily is one of my favorite little people in the world. So then I made my journey over to the knitting place, and that took me like an hour, and I hadn't eaten dinner. I literally hadn't eaten all day. I listened to Christy's thing, and then I got to meet so many people. I met Steen Person. I wish I knew what your real name is. I met up with Van Ray, Vanessa, because she is one of my knitting friends now. And I didn't know she was going to be there, so that was really exciting. And I just got to meet a lot of people, and I'm really happy I went. I'm really, really happy I went. And again, if she's in your area, go see her talk. She gives really good talks about knitting. And you know what's really great about her is she's not a know-it-all about it. Like, if you have something to contribute where she can learn, she will take that in. And, you know, she gives you some things. Like, she told me stuff that I had never heard of that she and I probably wouldn't have just spoken about when conversing with one another. So I learned a lot, and I really, really enjoyed that night. So thanks, Dinah, for having that event. I will try to come to another event in the future, and I will probably make the journey from New Jersey to Long Island the night before. So anyway, guys, I think that's it. I don't really have too much more to tell you. I hope you had fun like always, and you know, please, if I have another contest here and there, please enter and get in contact with me through Instagram and on Ravelry, and just, you know, I love interacting with you guys. A lot of people that I just plainly interacted with on Instagram have become people I consider my friends. And that is such a blessing to me, you know, that I'm just meeting people from all over because of knitting. Like, guys, sticks and string, they unite us. So I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I hope you knit in public because, guys, don't hide your knitting, knit in public. And I will see you. I think I'm going to try to do this again next week. I'll probably have nothing to talk about, but hey, why not? All right, guys, I'll see you soon. Thanks for tuning in. Bye. Yesterday we lost an icon in the fashion world. As you have all heard about what happened to Kate Spade. And it's upsetting to a lot of us. We're all sharing our first bag that we bought. I mean, a lot of people wrote me and said that her bags were the first nice handbag they ever bought for themselves. And it's kind of when we transitioned from young adulthood into adulthood, and I love her bags. I love her brand. I know she hasn't been affiliated with it for a really long time, probably about 10 years. But I remember in college, one of my friends got a Kate Spade bag, and we were all like, oh, you got a Kate Spade bag? Like, Gucci and Louis Vuitton, they weren't even on our radar yet. Kate Spade was the brand. So when I first moved to the city, I moved to the city in 2003. And what I would do is on Saturday was my day. And I went to Soho, and I would just walk around. And Soho didn't really have stores back then that were like all over. You know, now you can go down there and you see like a Victoria's Secret, and you see like stores that are in a lot of malls. But it used to be like the high-end brands were in this one section of Soho. And I would go to Dean and DeLuca because, guys, Felicity. Do you remember Felicity? And I would go to Dean and DeLuca and get myself something to nosh on, you know, like a chocolate croissant or a piece of cake, and or a scone, and I would get myself some tea, and I would walk around Soho. And I did this whenever the weather permitted, and I always ended up in the Kate Spade store. And Kate Spade's store back then was super tiny, and I don't remember, I think it had like green or red carpeting or something. It was an old, tiny store. And remember, this is 2003, and she started in 1993. I don't know when the store came about, but so the brand wasn't that old, and I would go in, I always had to go down into the basement and look at the sale things because I couldn't afford it. I mean, I just moved to the city. That was already costing me an arm and a leg. My first Kate Spade bag was an envelope bag. Do you remember those long bags that were like an inch wide but 9 inches long and like 4 inches high? And it had the Knoll print on it, and I loved it. And then I bought that, and I bought a wallet. And the funny thing is, I bought a wallet that didn't fit in the bag. So I bought that like right out of college. And the woman I was working for at that time could not stop laughing at me. She was just like, you bought a bag where the wallet doesn't even fit in it. And I was like, yeah, but I like them both. So if you pushed it real hard, I could zip it. I still have the bag and the wallet and a lot of other bags and wallets since then. My handbag closet is full of Kate Spade. And a lot of it I do buy at TJ Maxx. You know, I'm not rich, but I'm a good discount shopper. So, you know, off Fifth, Saks off Fifth, I'll buy them at, but I always gravitate towards Kate Spade, her outlets at Woodbury and things like that. And I'm just really sorry that this happened. So I just love the brand, and I know you guys do also. So I just wanted to share a little bit of my story and what Kate Spade meant to me. My whole house has Kate Spade things in it. My tablecloth, my dishes in my kitchen. I have my cute little mug with me. This is my Telegraph mug. Everything she does is kitschy and adorable. My lamps are Kate Spade. My bed sheets are Kate Spade. I have purses and wallets and scarves and shoes. My wedding dress that I went to City Hall in was Kate Spade. My shoes, my glasses. I had a scarf that said just married. I had this other scarf that's gorgeous and I can't find it. I'll just show you guys next week. It was so beautiful. I just have so much of it and I love it. And Kate, this wouldn't have been possible without you having a tiny little idea for a handbag that stood up on its own so that you could get in and out of your bag with one hand. I think it was brilliant. It was brilliant. And so I'm just really sad that, you know, she was so sad that she couldn't think of something else to make her happy, you know, and to prevent her from doing what she did. But every day, everything I do in my house, I stumble across her name, and I want to think of it in a good light. I want to remember her in a good light, someone with an adorable fashion sense, someone who saw an opening in a market and built this empire that, you know, girl boss. She is a girl boss. She was a girl boss. And so and let's remember a lady that gave us all things that make us happy. So I just wanted to give her a little salute. We all appreciate you creating this empire. So thank you.